In this video, we will make the dog command, which will allow the user to enter a dog breed as an argument, and the bot will return a random image of the dog breed. If the user keys in a breed that doesn't exist, it will provide some suggestions to the user that is filtered for what the user has typed. For example, if I were to type the command /dog followed by G, the bot will return me a list of dog breeds that starts with the letter G. So this is the API that we will be using. This is the website, and the API looks like this. We will key in the argument or the breed in the middle of the API here. So let's get started. Start by typing bot command, and the first parameter will include the dog command. Second parameter we will use the middleware function, and what we want to do now is to get the user's input and we'll store inside of a variable named input. So to get a user's input, we will use ctx.message.text, and we want to split this string or the user's input by spaces so we get back an array immediately. So I use the split method followed by spaces. So now input is an array of the user's input. Now we can perform the check. If the input length is not equivalent to 2, it means the user did not give any argument, or if the argument is more than 2 or 1. So let's use an if condition followed by length, and if it is not equals to 2, then we want to reply to the user an error message, and what we will tell the user is you must give a dog breed as the second argument, and then we will use the return keyword so that the code stops here. Otherwise, let's also store the user input for breed into a variable. We'll name the variable breed input, and it is in index number 1 because index 0 is the dog command. Once that is done, now we must perform a check. We must read this JSON file. If the breed that the user has inputted has an exact match in any of the breeds in the JSON file, then we want to call the API to get a random image of that dog breed. So now we will copy the code from the dog breed so that we don't have to rewrite it. And now with the data we have gotten from the JSON file, we can perform an exact match. To do that, we will use a if condition, and we will type data. We will use the includes method followed by the breed input. So this includes method will check if this breed input is inside of this array data. If it is, then there is an exact match. So from there we can call the API. We'll use Axios, the get method followed by the API link. Let's also use backticks, and now to copy the API, paste it here, and we want to enter the breed input here. So that is done, we will use the then method for the response, and let's also console log out what we get back in the data, the response data. We also catch any errors here. Now we'll save the file, make sure that the bot has restarted, and now let's call the dog command, and we will call terrier, and we get back a response which it has a message property followed by the link of the image. So we want to get the link of the image and we want to reply the user with this image. So what we can do is we can use the ctx.reply with photo, and we'll just reply the user the link of the image. Can remove this, save the file, make sure that the bot has restarted, and now when we call the dog command followed by terrier, it should return us a random image of the dog terrier.